I'm Maxwell Doolin. I'm the founder of the Spokane Cyber Cup, and this is the Injection City Code Injection Challenge, which is the final of the code injection challenges. Sorry, the Injection City challenges. So, as before, we're just going to read the prompt to start with. Here, we can see that this is called code injection, and this could be really anything at this point. Code injection isn't very specific. But the description tells us more. It says the website is using exec in Python in order to take user input for the key and the value of the dictionary. The code being added into exec is data some input and equals some input too. The flag is in flags flag6.txt or in the flag variable. So here we are actually taking input from the user and using that for some Python code that we're going to execute. If we go to the app right here, for the building data, we can see we're taking name and location, and then we are reading the flag at that point. We are adding the user's first string here and the second string here, and then we are taking that command and executing it, which is going to execute this as native Python. We are then returning like the error messages and the command, so it's easy for users to debug. But the real important thing here is we are taking some code, and exec is literally going to take that string and execute it as Python. That's pretty cool. So if we go to what we have here, and we have name and address, it seems like it's the easiest thing to do is to modify this second one here. So with the second one, if we just add a single quote here, we'll actually get an error message because it's going to say, hey, unterminated triple quoted string. And if you look at this, that makes sense. It might make more sense if we do something like that. So we've added an extra quote in here, and it's telling us that, which indicates that we have some sort of code injection vulnerability. And of course, we have this really nice thing where it's actually showing us what's going to be executed with exec. So in this case, we want to do something that is going to give us back the flag. And the easiest way to do this is to read the variable that is currently right here. So within flag is actually the variable. So if we could return that variable, that would be pretty cool. Now this one is a little bit harder than a lot of the rest of this. This is definitely a higher point challenge. Now, if you go to the solution, our injection point can be in either the beginning or the end, but again, I think it's easier just to do it at the end. So, the easiest way to go about this is just to print the flag out. Seems pretty obvious. And there are a couple of different ways you can do this. So, as we did before, we're going to take our string and we're going to copy it into a text file. So we go back here, and here is our string. Back to VS Code, and here is our input that we want to exploit. We're just going to keep the other one the same. So because we're executing Python, we want to make sure that this is valid syntax. Like we did in SQL, there are comments in Python. The comment is just a hashtag, and this is extremely useful for making other input invalid. We could also use new lines in Python as well, and new lines in the browser are going to be URL encoded as %0a. The final trick is semicolons can actually be used in Python as well to delimit the end of a line that's being executed. And we can then run more stuff afterwards. So we want to escape this. And at that point, we're going to use a semicolon. I think that's the easiest way to go about doing this. So we can then do print flag, and then we can put a comment afterwards. So we have now finished that line and made that valid, and then we're going to print the flag, and then we're going to put a comment at the very end of it in order to make this valid. So again, we're going to copy this input exactly. We're going to go to our browser, and we're going to put it in there. still thinks we have a bad string here. And this is because this fragment, this hashtag actually acts as a fragment in the URL. So we have to make sure to URL encode this. So URL encode hashtag. Literally something I've looked up before. So it's going to be %23. Cool. Great. So it actually has given us the flag here. We can see that this actually did work. There are other solutions to do this as well. There's no way you have to do this. I just like the hashtag and the semicolon because I think it makes it the shortest and the nicest. But another way you could do this is using the new lines. So if we go from our injection point once again, we could add our own single quote and then put a new line here, which we're going to need to copy as %0a. And now we're on the next line, which means we can execute arbitrary Python, which is super nice. So we're going to do print flag, and we could add a hashtag there. The other thing you could do, instead of using a hashtag, is you could try to complete the string. So we could do something like this, where this also does complete the string. So I'm going to go back up here and copy this just as we did before. Now we have this exact same input. Tells us it's still invalid. Doesn't really seem to like our syntax. I wonder if we need a tab. I don't think we need a tab. What does my solution file say? %3 is the hashtag. Yeah, we could also just do that, but I think the new line is also another fun way to do it. There are ways you could also just finish off this string, like if you put another new line in there and did like a equals that, then that would also finish it out. So at that point, we are just creating another line that works. So in Python, this would look like this. Is all I just did, where the final single quote is being finished by the input. Well, this is the final of the Injection City challenges. I hope you all had a really good time going through these. It was really fun to write all these, and a lot of the similar thought process can be used to solve all these injection challenges. There are other types of injection that you'll find. I've seen IAM policy injection, LDAP injection, and all sorts of things. So keep this in mind going forward. Thanks, everyone.